The Pirelli World Challenge makes its 19th visit to the always exciting Mid-Ohio sports car course. The points battles are getting extremely intense. The fight for the championships continues next. It's time for rounds 14 and 15 of the Pirelli World Challenge GT Championships, and at a track that is a true driver and fan favorite, Mid-Ohio sports car course, it is the Pirelli World Challenge Mid-Ohio Grand Prix, presented by Honda Racing. Hi everybody, I'm Greg Creamer, and joined by a gentleman who in 1987 won the Pro Atlantic Championship race here, so knows of what he speaks. And Cal, as we get into our Pirelli storylines, especially recent history here, we've seen the broom come out fairly often.
We've seen drivers dominate here in the past. In 2012, it was Randy Post with the sweep. 2013, Alex Vicky. In the last 2 years, it's been all about Ryan Dalziel. I think the reason is this racetrack so critical to get that setup just right. Find the sweet spot. You do that, you're going to dominate. Add to that, really tough to pass. So if you get the grid position, you get the track position, you can typically bring it home.
In this season so far, the last 3 rounds have been sweeps as well. That can have a huge implication on points. That leads to our second storyline. A 4-time defending champ needs a weekend like that.
He had a tough one at Road America. Strong car there, electrical gremlins in both races, really down in the points right now. Johnny O'Connell has performed magic in the past to win these championships. If he's going to pull a rabbit out of his hat this year, that bunny better have some big ears, because he's nearly 200 points back right now to the leader.
And the way it's been going, it might be the rabbit from Monty Python's Holy Grail, so we'll see how that folds. Now, the third and final of our Pirelli storylines, after their dominating run at Road America, the Acura team did feel the hammer of BOP just a little bit. 30
kilograms in weight, about 66 pounds, also less boost. It's really taken the edge off their blade a little bit, but they've got Ryan Eversley. He's a really strong racer. They've got Spencer Pompelli in for PD this weekend. They're going to have a charge, I think.
I think it's going to be a great one to watch, and we've been talking about those rounds at Road America. Well, now it's time for our Kia Rewind. We're going to go back and take a look at rounds 12 and 13. The first race of the doubleheader at Road America, round 12 of the championship. Qualifying saw Adderley Fong put his Bentley on pole in dramatic fashion, while Frankie Montecalvo would start on pole in GTA in his Mercedes, and in GT Cup, Alex Udell would get his 3rd pole of the season.
At the start was Ryan Eversley to the front. The Acuras were on fire here this weekend, and his teammate Petey Cunningham was also strong. He would take second position away from Fong, and the pair would literally run away from the field. Eversley would take the win, his 2nd career victory in Pirelli World Challenge.
In GTA, our points leader Martin Fuentes struggled all race with severe overheating, leaving the door wide open for Montecalvo, who had troubles though of his own. Handling went off as the race unfolded. He would run wide, exiting the carousel, losing the back end and running very wide onto the grass. That allowed the number 16 of Mike Shine to pounce, taking the lead. And Shine had been quietly stalking the GTA leaders, holding on for his 4th win, and took another big chunk out of the points gap.
In GT Cup, it was the usual protagonists: Alec Udell, Corey Ferguson, Sloan Urie. Udell would take the lead and never look back. With victory here today, it was his 6th victory on the season, and he increased his points lead over Sloan Urie.
In race 2, around 13, Eversley would find himself at the pole once again, but in the first turn, the number 82 of Mike McCann had a huge shunt and put the field under a full course yellow. McCann's Viper suddenly speared across track from the far right side, entering turn 1, shot into the wall, and significant damage and a long cleanup. And on the restart, though, Eversley would continue to pull away from the field, sweeping the weekend with his 3rd career win.
In GTA, Montecalvo found himself on the pole, despite his issues during the first race. He would hold it together, finally shaking the gremlins and pulling off his 1st victory of the season.
And in GT Cup, due to the first turn crash, the field started the way they qualified, and Alec Udell would once again show us the class of the field, taking yet another win, sweeping the weekend, and opening up his points lead on Uri. As we talked about, one of those sweeps, wasn't it? Now, of course, it's been almost a month since those races at Road America, so there have been lots of developments in the paddock. For more, let's meet the third member of our broadcast team, Jeff Lepper.
Well, thanks, Greg. We'll start off in our GT Cup category. Sloan Uri had some problems here of late with his primary car. Tested a different 911 GT3 Cup car, was about a second quicker in that car. He switched his chassis for this round. Going on to our GTA category, Martin Fuentes with the commanding lead. Second place in that championship, Frankie Montecalvo, the only guy to really challenge him besides Michael Shine this year, unable to make it to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. How about it, sports car fans? The Acura NSX GT3 makes its testing debut here in the U.S. with Peter Cox behind the wheel with the real-time supported Acura NSX testing here this weekend at Mid-Ohio.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff. Now let's take a look at our Porsche race analysis. 2.25 miles around this track, 13 turns. It is a track that really produces some pretty exciting and exceptional racing. And of course, weather is going to play a key role here this weekend. Already has, canceling a practice, so that's going to be a factor to watch as well. Over 20 cars on this track. And one of the reasons drivers love this track, it's quick, but it's technical. It's a place a driver can make a difference. That leads us beautifully into our Porsche track preview with none other than Pat Long.
Welcome to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This is Patrick Long, driver of the 58 Wright Motorsports GT3R, and this is your Porsche track preview. Approaching turn 1, there's not a real clear apex, so you need to turn in with a lot of commitment, pick up the throttle before you get to this apex curb here, all the way out to your yellow curb using every inch of the road, hustle the car back over for the approach to the infamous keyhole. Turn 2, long trail braking. You want to let the car sort of come out mid-corner right here, square up, squeeze the throttle early and get a very, very good shot out. This is a long straightaway, so you don't want to compromise your exit. Up through the gears, turn 3, the kink as they call it, not much of a corner. You're lining yourself up for the high-speed turn 4. As you can see, I'll use all of the road on the exit. You come off the brake early, right to your apex, and then let the car run all the way out. Turn 5, madness. Hard to get the throttle down. You need to hustle the car back over left for turn 6. This 6, 7, 8 complex is very iconic. It's very difficult to trail brake into the final corner here, which is turn 9. You can lose the rear here easily. As you can see, completely blind. You're on the power before you know where the racetrack goes in turn 9. This quick section of Thunder Valley, turn 10 and 11, very quick here. Release the brake. You're still blind on the exit, 4th gear, a lot more on the table with the speeds here. Final corner is the carousel, a little bit like the keyhole. You got to let it diamond out, get a straight shot off onto the front straightaway to get hopefully a good run on your competition as you approach the start-finish line here at Mid-Ohio.
Well, if some of the tracks we've been at already this season are hill climbs, this is a true roller coaster ride. Cal, you talked about it being a little tough to pass on. There's one corner where you can do it, but it is tough.
It is, and that's our start tech brake zone down into turn 4. You need a good exit speed off of the keyhole turn, through the kink down the back straight away, then hard on the brakes. If you protect the inside line, someone may slide it to the outside, go side by side up into turn 5 and complete the pass right there. It's a great spot to watch. It's a real amphitheater setting that the fans really enjoy.
That's because they know if something goes wrong, China Beach awaits. It can be an exciting corner, no question. You've been talking a bit about the Acura program this year, and certainly the team real-time racing at the events get all the accolades. But if you're racing successfully at this level, that teamwork is much more expansive and goes a lot deeper.
Well, with one of the most entertaining drivers in the series, Ryan Eversley. Now, Ryan, you drive a pretty entertaining car, too.
Yeah, we got a pretty crazy Acura TLX back there, twin turbo V6. We're making well over 500 horsepower. We basically sit in the back seat so we get the engine as far back as possible and kind of get the mid-engine thing going, but our engine's still about 4 feet farther to the front than a Ferrari. Honda Performance Development out in California, they're basically like Honda's special ops, you know what I mean? They take a normal car and they make it crazy. They're responsible for the IndyCar engines and the IndyCar body kits and all that. They just won the Indy 500, as well as our TLX program and the LMP2 program that races all over the world. So really neat to be able to work with those guys. We have engineers support at every race, so it's nice to have that extra bit of engineering strength to integrate. Honda fans are crazy. They know so much about the sport, being a Honda Acura driver. We're loving life over here.
Well, in many ways, it's been a breakout year for that program with exciting news for the future as well, exciting times in general. Now, Cal, one of the things that you have to deal with here is the VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. Tell us how that's going to work.
On starts and restarts, as the pace car exits the track, the field enters the VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. The lead car will be responsible for maintaining a speed from 50 to 55 miles per hour, and at the starter's discretion, the green flag will come out and everyone will unleash their VP Racing fuel.
And that leads us nicely into our Motul Pole Awards. And in GT and in the overall category, a remarkable story, nailing the pole. His first in the GT category with a new track record, Austin Cindric in the number 6, Capex McLaren, turning a lap at a 1 minute 19.397. That's an average speed, folks, of 102.382 miles an hour. He's standing by with Jeff.
Well, Austin Cindric on pole here on a track you grew up with and your grandfather helped build.
Yeah, really cool. It's definitely a good opportunity for us to start up front. We've had a little bit of bad luck, and we knew we've had the pace all year. It's just kind of all got to come together, and we have a good starting position. Hopefully we'll have a good finish position.
Now, starting from P1, what are you looking for the race?
Yeah, just got to get a clean start. I know Alvaro and the guys behind him are all going to be really aggressive on the start, so I just got to get a clear shot away, and hopefully we'll have the long run pace to stay out front.
In the GTA category, of course, Motul Pole Awards awarded there as well. And this one, his third pole of the season, goes to the number 16. That is the Wright Motorsport Porsche of Mike Shine. Also sub-track record for the GTA category, a 1 minute 20.735 second lap. And in the GT Cup category, his 8th pole of the season. What a year for Alec Udell in the Euro World Global Motorsports Group Porsche number 17. Another track record at a 1 minute 24.134 second lap. So now the stage is set, which means it's time for us to go racing. And we've got a very special guest sending this one off here at this event. It is 7-time World Challenge champion and Acura driver extraordinaire, Petey Cunningham.
All right, on behalf of Honda Racing and HPD here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Grand Prix, drivers, start your engines.
And there you have it. You can see the signals to the teams as well. It is time to bring this field to life. And again, a remarkable field of some of the most exotic supercar equipment you can imagine. And we are about ready to go racing here for 50 minutes of competition. And look at that, the Cadillac ATS-V, Don Harple, giving us a little bit of a burnout. He always saves the best for later in the weekend, but what a great machine this is, and it's all courtesy of a fabulous partner in Cadillac. So we thank them very much. But Cal, as the field is about to wheel its way out, you know, we heard some of the updates that Jeff was telling us about. Some pretty spectacular stuff, but how about Austin Cindric on the pole? He had that great interview with him, but what a story.
What a story. I mean, so much family history here with the Truman family, his grandparents owning the circuit for many years. Austin loves the race circuit, but to Pip, the factory teammate, and Alvaro Parent to that pole position, that was a great run for him. Congratulations. See if he can withstand the pressure. This is going to be a tough one to pull off.
Yeah, and in this field right now, I mean, the top 10 in qualifying covered essentially by half a second. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot closer than that. And that fourth car on the grid, big story there, the Red Dragon, they're truly back.
3 McLarens on the top 2 row of the grid, and certainly for the Red Dragon, the Gainesville entry, they've struggled this year. Had that podium at Coda in the opening round of the championship, opening event of the championship. Had the crash at Long Beach, struggled since. Great to see them back at the sharp end where they truly belong.
And there is a look at the other part of the program from Cadillac, the official safety vehicle, the great Cadillac Escalade, with our safety team on board. So again, a big thanks to the folks at Cadillac. As the field is out on its pace and parade lap, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back to bring you the start here at Mid-Ohio.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control. And by the Cadillac V-Series, the first ever 464 horsepower 2016 ATS-V Coupe and Sedan, and the all-new 640 horsepower CTS-V Super Sedan. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Motul, official lubricant of the Pirelli World Challenge. And by Porsche. There is no substitute.
Welcome back, everybody. The field coming down the front straight, but because it's a rolling start here with the big field, they actually start on the run from the keyhole down through the kink. Let's take a look quickly at our Kia quad box featuring some great looks from our Replay XT cameras. And here's a sampling of those as the field is going to be forming up just a little bit here, Cal. You have this run out of turn 1 down into the keyhole, and then it's down that long back straight where they'll actually pick up the green.
And watch for those Nissans on row 2 and 3. Hyde, Cotter, and Davison. They've got great horsepower. They're going to be trying to make some moves here early.
And I think you're going to see Fogarty hoping that Hightower gets bottled up a little bit and he can do something around the outside through turn 4. But here we go. Time to go racing. Round 14, looking for the green flag to kick off 50 minutes of competition. And we are racing. Green flag flies, and let's see what happens.
Oh, Thompson to the inside. A very aggressive move by Colin Thompson in the orange McLaren there. Right down on the inside of J.D. Davison.
Here comes Fogarty.
Fogarty around the outside. He said he liked the outside lane for the start here.
Oh, and we got contact. Davison involved. Looks like Cooper. Oh, and again, Mike McCann on an opening lap caught up. And the number 77, by the way, is a change as well. That is now Preston Calvert, who has moved up to the GTA category. But Cal, I mean, I'm sure McCann right now cannot believe what's going on, nor Davison.
Davison was looking for great things at the start, but certainly Colin Thompson got a great run. I'm not sure if there was a touch between those two, but either way, Davison was around and caught out a couple of the other cars.
Davison got a little bit of a break, getting some points back from earlier in the year, but this is not what he wanted to see. Let's go back. And we're seeing Davison able to drive off. We'll have to check on damage. Everybody's getting away here, Cal, but there is a bit of damage to bits and pieces of bodywork. He's got a flat.
Flat left rear. So I'm not sure if he got pushed out wide, and then there was someone to his left side as well. Everyone trying to make moves there, and I mean, it just comes down to the pressure. He's got to be careful. He's going to lose. Well, he has lost control there.
I think he just found out how cut that tire was. Gets it gathered up. Be a bit more circumspect on his way around to the pit lane at this stage, but that air now. Nismo Nissan.
Trying not to go down a lap, of course, but you don't want to do further damage to the bodywork. Ian Willis and all of the guys at AIM Autosport will be ready for him, looking at the monitors.
All right, Cal, let's go back and see if we can piece together what happened again.
Big run down the back straightaway into our stop-tech brake zone. And we saw that Colin Thompson was making a very aggressive move there. There he is, almost in the grass there, getting to the inside of J.D. Davison. Fogarty getting a good run to the outside. He follows Alvaro Parent, but as we get right down towards the apex, watch there to the inside. He's kind of pinched there between, I think it may be Spencer Pompelli. And that was where the contact was with Spencer, and that cut down that left rear and sent JD for a ride.
And then you saw McCann trying to take some evasive. There they are, 3 abreast. I mean, that's tough math to do.
Yeah, Colin kind of nudges into JD. He then goes into the side of Spencer, who regains control. Eversley goes around him, his teammate.
And here's that last moment here by JD's just trying to hustle a car. I don't think you realize that maybe that tire was completely cut.
down. That's not going to work through a...
Yeah, and you saw McCann look like he maybe thought he had it woed down, and then Preston just got into the back of him, and that pitched him into the back of JD. So it's a tough break, but everybody was able to clear and drive off. Great work by that.
Well, they used to pit stops. They've won a lot of championships in endurance style of racing, so pit stops is their forte.
Looks like a headlight cover out there on the track, maybe off of the Viper. Got that bit of contact. So not sure if they can get this field gathered up. I'm sure one of the great corner workers, course marshals here at Mid-Ohio can run out and grab that. Lights are out on the pace car, Cal.
McLaren's run 1-2-3 right now, so a good initial start for Austin Cindric. That takes the pressure off a little bit. He can now control the pace here. Going to restart here on the front straightaway.
VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. Ooh, Cindric slowed him down a little bit, but we're green.
Parent trying to get a run. His teammate, the factory driver, the championship leader.
And I thought Hightower might try and get up and underneath.
O'Connell.
Oh, beautiful move around Thompson.
O'Connell and Thompson side by side. There's Shine going for a ride, or is that Pat Long?
That's Long.
Wow.
Trying to make up some ground.
Hightower looks to the outside of the keyhole. There's not going to be much grip there. He's going to lose ground to Fogarty. O'Connell trying to take advantage.
And Johnny O not feeling great this weekend. Thinks he had a bug of the flu. He said he's feeling better. We talked to him a bit earlier today. So we'll see who he's got. But now Hightower using some serious power, Cal, trying to get down underneath Fogarty, but he's just able to out-deep him into 4.
He really is. This is a great start for Johnny O'Connell, but his teammate, Michael Cooper, he's towards the tail end of the field there. You can see him trying to fight his way back. He did not have a good opening lap.
He got caught out and took evasive when that incident happened here at turn 4 and ended up going through the grass, but managed to avoid China Beach, lost a lot of track position. And look at Spencer Pompelli, huge attack mode right now.
Yeah, he's going to be fired up. There you can see that headlight cover. Someone's probably going to ding that, particularly when you're in a pack of cars. That will cut down your tire in a heartbeat. Cindric now feeling the pressure from Parent.
Yeah, and I actually said that was Pumpelly, but it was Eversley. When Spencer got forced a little bit wide there, Eversley was able to snick through, and he now sits in the 6th spot between O'Connell and Thompson.
K-Pax Flying Lizard team did a test here a couple of weeks ago, and that was really important, Greg, because we lost a practice session here yesterday because of the heavy rain. Oh, more contact there. Pumpelly's in trouble.
He is.
His car is really crabbing down there. Oh, and he's going to lose it.
Oh, into the gravel, and
he broke something in the rear suspension or has a cut down tire.
Well, if he can't get moving and it looks doubtful, this will probably be a full course caution scenario.
Parent trying to get a run. His teammate, the factory driver, the championship leader.
As we have a change for the lead, Parent underneath his young charge and picks up the point. Cindric now 2nd.
And there's a lot of debris there over in the S's. That could be a problem for some of these guys, cutting down tires potentially.
And look at John Fogarty. And now things settling just a little bit. So we're now going to take that quick break, but we'll be right back to Mid-Ohio. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, everybody. We continue under caution here, and you can see lights still on the pace car, and also there's that weather I was talking about. You never know here in Mid-Ohio, and that's a possibility that could come into play just yet, but we continue under the caution. And the reason for that, of course, was the off by the number 34 Acura of Spencer Pumpelly. And there he sits. You can see he's on the strap. They're going to be hauling him up onto the flatbed. But this is what happened and what pitched him off into the gravel, Cal. Let's take a look.
Well, here we see the field streaming through turn 1. He dives down to the inside on Colin Thompson there. There's going to be a brush. Watch right there. Contact. Immediately that right rear you can see is broken, and now he's crabbing all the way up this straightaway, and I think when he finally lifts off the gas pedal about right there and he gets on the brakes, it just turns on him.
And that's exactly why they have the gravel where they do around these places. Another look at it here. Boy, it just went.
Yeah, as soon as he hit the brake pedal, suddenly all the cross weight is off in the machine and it's just going to turn on him.
So the gravel doing its job and saving the car from further damage and getting into the tire barriers. But of course, then you have to extract the car out of the gravel. So that is the simple reason that these cleanups sometimes take a little bit of time when you're extracting them out of the gravel. And it looks like the Muck Daddy cleanup for Spencer Pumpelly's car almost complete. Not the start he wanted, but he sure was impressive in qualifying. And he will be back for the next race. That'll be coming up, of course. But want to also now go back and take a look at GT Cup. You see that blue Porsche just coming into screen there, the Global Motorsports Group machine of Alec Udell from his 8th pole position, and Alec able to hang on to the lead. And here was a look at the start, which of course got waved off pretty quickly. They ran into a yellow scenario, but Alec with that inside line made it work, Cal.
You see the grass flying. I think that's from Colin Thompson making that move on J.D. Davison. And you see Yuri there trying to go around the outside, didn't quite make it stick.
As a matter of fact, I think Yuri got trapped a little bit. Briefly, Corey Fergus got underneath him, was running in 2nd, but Fergus ran into some issues, had to duck into the pits. He's back out, but now sits back in 3rd. And for Alec Udell, pretty good story there. And there he comes. And one of the reasons he's a big story is because he gets the Optima Batteries Best Start Award. He was up 6 spots on that opening lap. With that, everything that unfolded in front of him, obviously it's always an overall advantage. So great job by Alec Udell. And I'll tell you, with that pole, he just keeps building these little bits of points margins over a very quick Sloan Uri.
Well, it's going to be tight the rest of the way in this championship, and those guys have been nip and tuck all season long. It seems like Alec Udell has finally got that momentum on his side. Sloan started off so strong at the beginning of the championship year, and it's great to see Corey Fergus now on pace with these 2 young guys because he's an amazing talent as well.
There's a look at your leader and pole sitter in GTA, Mike Shine, and he was able to hang on. You can see a little bit of dirt and debris up in the grills on those cars. You want to be a little bit careful, and he's tucked right behind Mike Cooper.
Absolutely. And Cooper's going to be super frustrated. He's won 4 times here on this race circuit, including last year in GTS competition. It's a great track for him. He was pretty pumped up after practice here on Thursday. He was one of the fastest guys out there, but in qualifying, the Cadillacs just didn't have the edge needed to be at the sharp end of the grid. But Johnny O'Connell, his teammate, has had a good start up into the top 6 right now. Was 5th, but Eversley's got around him.
We're into our VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. As the green flag flies, we are back to racing here at Mid-Ohio. in the Mid-Ohio Grand Prix presented by Honda Racing, down into turn 1. And looking for anybody trying to make some big major move. Nobody yet, although Cooper really anxious to attack on the back of Kyle Marcelli in that orange Audi.
Look at this. Highcutter to the outside of John Fogarty. Fogarty tries to tuck it down on the apex there. Highcutter made this move early in the race, couldn't make it stick, but now he's got to run. Oh, there's damage in the background. Thompson's around, Marcelli's around. Cooper's involved once again.
Everybody trying to thread the needle coming through there.
Big damage to the tail end of Colin Thompson's McLaren.
And a big rip in the side of the Audi as well of Kyle Marcelli. Thompson trying to get going and drive away. Boy, I'll tell you, this is he qualified 3rd at Long Beach. Pace has never been questioned. Dominated in the GT Cup last year, but just has had one of those years. And here's the Audi. It's moving, Cal, but he's hurt too.
Yeah, and this is maybe, kind of the icing on the cake here for this team. They really felt that the Audi would be strong here. You need great balance around this racetrack. The Audi has had that. They've had an additional balance of performance adjustment in their favor in terms of 10 kilograms lighter this weekend. So the team's really just been scratching their head as to why they haven't been more competitive and gambled on the setup, thinking it was going to rain here this afternoon.
And the irony is as the car brakes because of the contact, we're getting reports of some sprinkles around the area. So that would have been perfect. And for Colin Thompson, having a look at the car, you can see the shake of the head. It's just, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to him this year, it seems.
It's amazing. And again, for these guys, we haven't had any real good green flag runs here. They haven't set the fast laps for this race, which sets the grid for tomorrow. So it's a double whammy. You've got a poor position. Look at the damage to the right rear corner there.
That was a substantial hit. Now let's go back, Cal, and have another look at it and see if we can figure out exactly what unfolded here.
Look in the tail end here. Highcutter's making the move on Fogarty. That was what I was looking for. But just look behind. Thompson loses control. I'm not sure if Pat Long had got to the inside of him, maybe turned him. Saw Pat Long in the picture there, so I'm not sure if he was maybe up on the curb and got into the side of Colin Thompson. The shot didn't show that. I'm just looking at the positioning of the cars.
Right. That's a reaction, I guess. Yeah, Colin obviously felt he got some help.
We suddenly saw him sideways, and Pat Long was up on the curb and almost to the inside. So again, he was having to make something happen. Pat Long, that is today, second in the points. Poor qualifying slot, down in the 13th position, and made some good early moves.
All right, folks, we've got a development. That long drive-through.
Yeah, that's big news. I mean, fortunately for Pat, a lot of his competition is out of the race, so he won't drop too many positions, but it's still not the news he was looking for.
Now we might have another angle that might help clarify that. Watch it from here, Cal.
He just got super aggressive, maybe got up on this curving here that we're looking at into the keyhole, and that was what turned Colin Thompson around.
You understand? They have adjudicated it, and he will have to do the drive-through. So, and you can't do that under caution, so we're going to have to get back to green, and then he'll have to come in and do it. But as you said, a lot of the people he's running with here are already out.
This has not been the smoothest start to a race.
No, this has been...
Everyone's pretty antsy here trying to get going.
Well, and I think you talked about it as we take a look here, first of all, at Ryan Eversley. And one of the reasons is he's carrying our iBox suspension cam. And, this is, one of those roller coaster rides, but there's lots of changes of direction that happen abruptly. And we talked about it at the top of the show. If you hit it right in the setup, and that's the suspension, it pays huge dividends.
Oh, it really does. I mean, this is a fun racetrack, and it's even more fun when the car's working well and you got the iBack suspension system working well at the same time. So you want to be able to run the curbs around here, have the car that's pretty compliant. Got to put the power down well off of the carousel and off of the keyhole. Very important corners.
I think everybody is just trying to feel their way around, and some of them, it's gotten a little bit too physical. So while we continue under this third caution, we're going to stop once again. When we come back, hopefully we'll get some good long green flag racing for you.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Nissan, innovation that excites. And by Honda Performance Development, Honda's North American racing company.
Welcome back, everybody. Lights out in the pace car once again. And hopefully we'll be able to get this one and get going with some serious racing here. Parent over his young teammate Cindric as the pace car makes its move in. We're into our VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone, and Parent rolls into it aggressively, Cal. Green flags fly. We are back to racing. Parent, Cindric, and Highcutter.
Superb restart there for the championship leader. Hidecotter there got jumped a little bit, but that Nissan's got a lot of power. He's going to chase these guys down. What a move he put on John Fogarty to take that position away. And he tried the move a lap earlier, a lap or two earlier, and it didn't quite stick, so he learned something and made it stick second go around. Cooper there on the rebound. Pat Long has now got to serve that penalty, we believe, so he's going to be hitting pit lane pretty soon, I would believe.
Yeah, Cooper took a look at him and then tucked right back in. Perrent continues to lead.
Look
Boy,
at Eversley.
Hidecotter makes speed, as does Eversley. Yeah.
Eversley's coming after John Fogarty. Has he got the outside lane? He looks to the outside. No, John takes it away. Good, clean racing between those two drivers.
Eversley, of course, was, as you talked about, Cal, here a little over a week ago. They were able to get a test in and said that they were pretty confident, even though they didn't qualify as well as they may have liked, that they had a good race car here. Sure looks like it.
Well, Ryan's a great racer, and he always seems to take advantage of every situation that he can. Scored his third Pirelli World Challenge victory at Road America with the sweep. But he's been really consistent this year, Greg. He's always at the sharp end, always fighting out for a top 5 finish, it seems like.
And that's why he's well placed in the points at this point. There is the number 16 of Shine leading in GTA.
Pat Long stays out.
He does.
So it seems like the team is still trying to fight that decision.
He comes in here, 58 points out of second, and I mean, he's a major points player, and this is going to be painful as the number 88 of Mike Lewis ducks underneath the similar car, different livery, different team of Mike Shine.
Well, the great news is that Michael Lewis is going to campaign the rest of this championship, so that's huge for him and for the series.
Big news indeed, and actually right now Pat Long, working with Johnny O, has been able to gap Cooper just a little bit.
But I'd be more in, you know, Eversley has got the outside run, and he's going to get it this time. Fogarty's going to fight him for it, but I think Ryan's just going to hold on. Now they try and go side by side through 5. Fogarty's really wide, and he's going to have the inside line. That's a great part of the circuit, Greg, when you can fight like this. Eversley's now in the marbles. He didn't have grip coming off.
And that was one of those scenarios where you see the respect between two drivers. They gave each other room, good hard racing, but didn't have any contact, and they come through, and Fogarty hangs on to the position.
If I was Pat Long, if the penalty has to be served, get it over early. You know, then catch a yellow or whatever, get back in the game. But I'm surprised. I think they have 3 laps before they have to serve this penalty.
Correct.
Before they'll stop scoring him.
There is Fuentes, second in GTA, and here is your battle in Cup, and it is exactly that. Alec Udell has the point, but that...
Yuri to the inside! There's going to be a trade of paint right there. Alec Udell just slid a little bit as he came into the brake zone for the carousel. You come up and over the hill there, and he just lost the front end a little bit. Yuri tried to take advantage. Slight tap, and Fergus is right there as well. He's only about a second back.
Boy, would he love to see these two guys really get into a scrap, be able to take advantage and pop through. And Yuri's been looking really strong. He really likes just how this car feels in that Security National Mortgage Evasis entry from Tyler Tadovic's True Speed team.
Well, he's got his confidence back. He's got his confidence back in his race car. Fergus is right there. Yes, he'd like to take advantage of maybe some misfortune with the guys in front of him, but I think more importantly, Greg, Corey Fergus would like to be in this battle.
Oh, without doubt. By the way, Race Control just issued a warning, not a drive-through, just a warning to Alec Udell about moving in response. I'm not sure he moved in response. I'm not sure he realized that Yuri was all the way alongside like that, because it was a great move by Yuri.
It really was.
And, you know, the other thing for Yuri, too, is the fact that he's had a month now to let that wrist heal that he had broken. I think that's making a big difference, too.
Yeah, for sure. He's been working a little bit wounded here for the last 2 or 3 months. Up front, Perrent is stretching that lead over his young teammate, Austin Cindric. Hidecotter has settled in nicely to that 3rd spot.
With Fogarty 4th and Ryan Eversley sits in 5th. Alec Udell leading in GT Cup, but under attack, and Mike Shine leading in GTA. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Pat Long down into the pits. But the question is, Cal, is it too late?
Well, he had a 3-lap window to serve that penalty. He didn't do it within that. We're hearing news that it may be a disqualification, or is he finally saying, okay, I'll serve the penalty now?
The Porsche Consulting 911 GT3R of Patrick Long comes down pit lane at 35 miles an hour, drive-through penalty for avoidable contact on the 13. Took him 3 laps, got the warning from Brian Till, pit now or stop being scored.
He is back out. We'll see how it plays out and see whether he continues to get scored. Either way, obviously, it's going to hurt him a little bit here with this drive-through. But if he's actually disqualified, that's mega implications.
It's huge because Perrin, who leads the championship, is running up front right now. And if Pat got 0 points, that would be a huge swing. Almost take him out of the picture for the rest of the season.
There's a look at Perrin, who I'm sure if the crew is informing him of what's going on, must be just can't believe what he's hearing at this stage. And boy, he and Cindric have just eased away, haven't they?
Well, the good news is you're leading. The better news is the guy who's second in the points is right at the tail end of the field. The guy who's third in points sits in the 7th position. The guy who's 4th sits in 6th. So this is a huge swing. The news just keeps getting better for Alvaro Perrin here today.
All right, we're getting word now from race control. They have said since he did come in and do the penalty, he will be able to get whatever points he gets now from this point forward. That's a lot of points in there. Sorry about that. I guess I was making a point.
I like your point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's a tough one. I'm sure there'll be other teams who say, well, by the letter of the law, he did not do what you're supposed to do. So there may be some conversation in the paddock here tonight. There you can see the little grill piece on Ryan Eversley's machine just popped up. There's been a little bit of argy-bargy during these laps of racing here today.
Yeah, this has been a real battle. There's been no question about that. And Fogarty in the Red Dragon, the Gainesco Auto Insurance machine right there with Eversley right behind him. He just has not been able, once Heitkotter got through, John was not quite able to stay with him. It's about a 1.5 seconds from Fogarty up to Heitkotter at this stage.
Yeah, looking at Fogarty's pace, his fast lap at 122.1, Alvaro Perrin's fastest lap at 121.7. So again, they're happy to be at the sharp end of the grid, but they realize compared to the Capex Flying Lizard group, they've still got a little edge to find with the McLaren, but certainly great news this weekend to see them running in the 4th position, qualifying on the 2nd row of the grid.
Absolutely. I mean, it was since the opening race at COTA that they've been on the podium. They had that big hit at Long Beach, and they've just been chasing things a little bit, but they seem to have their hands wrapped around it as we go back now to GT Cup, and Alec Udell now has been able to eke out another couple of car lengths over Sloan Uri. And looking at those fast laps, Cal.
Yeah, 25.9, 125.9 for Udell, 126.2 for Uri, 126.5 for Corey Fergus, and that's why we're seeing the gaps on the racetrack right now.
And there's Ferguson. I mean, he's going to be delighted to be, as you said, within that second at this stage because they've really been chasing things a little bit. They, too, had that big hit at St. Pete, and you never know just how deep into the chassis that might get. But, you know, this was where Alec Udell, at a 15-year-old, driving a Mustang in GTS, got his first ever pole in the rain, and that's an accomplishment. And then last year got his first ever win in Pirelli World Challenge when he broke the streak that Colin Thompson had set.
Well, you have your favorite spots. I mean, there's some circuits you just have an eye for and you feel very comfortable with. And this is a difficult racetrack. There's a lot of elevation change. I find in learning circuits and getting comfortable with circuits, ones that have a lot of elevation change are the most difficult. And certainly Mid-Ohio has a lot of that. But once you find the rhythm around this place and find your sweet spot, find your marks, there's a real nuance to getting around here quickly. You've got some really high-speed stuff like turn 11 and you know, turn 1 obviously, and then you got some real technical stuff where you got to place the car in the right position, and you've got to get the power down. You need good patience through the carousel, through the keyhole. You can't overcharge those corners. So this racetrack takes it all.
Well, the thing is, you know, unlike some other tracks where the elevation changes, the long climb, and this is some very abrupt stuff and at apexes. So as you're watching Mike Shine here, who continues to lead over Martin Fuentes here in the GTA category, pretty impressive run for Mike Shine, who's shown some amazing speed, but they've been able to, somehow he's been able to get that Porsche to work here around this track.
Well, they tested also, so that was a big advantage. We talk about Martin Fuentes, you know, losing a session with the gearbox issue there, and everyone lost a practice session. So for the teams that tested, that was really a twofer in terms of we've already got the data, we've already know what the car will need around here. So some of these guys on the back foot like Martin this weekend.
And there is Martin, who at least is getting some second place points, and he had a big margin coming in. And so this isn't as bad as it potentially could be. And there is Pat Long, who is back out at it. He is indeed continuing to get scored, shown at an 11th overall right now. But more importantly for him, 9th in the GT order. So with that, we're going to pause for just a moment. We'll be back with more from Mid-Ohio.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by McLaren GT, manufacturers of championship-winning GT cars. By Replay XD, life's in HD. Replay it. And by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by BRM. And by Audi. Truth in engineering. Visit AudiUSA.com or schedule a test drive today.
Alvaro Parent continues to lead here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the Mid-Ohio Grand Prix, presented by Honda Racing. And there is his young teammate, pole sitter Austin Cindric, in that blue and black McLaren, also from Capex Racing, sitting in second. And while we were in break, Parent got caught behind Preston Calvert just for an instant, and Cindric was all over the back of him, but Parent has been able to just turn up that wick again, Cal.
He has, and by doing that, he just laid down the fastest lap of the race. So I'm sure the Capex Flying Lizard group are on the radio, keeping their drivers abreast. You're doing great, you're running 1-2, but more importantly, these guys have set faster lap times than you today. If you can, try and dig deep, try and find a faster lap. That's going to set your grid for tomorrow.
Cindric thought he had a shot, then it is tailed off just a little bit. Heitkotter had been awfully quick, but boy, those two times by Parent and Cindric, the only guys underneath 121 right now, Cal.
Yeah, Fogarty's also quick there.
Yep.
He's done a 121.1, which is quicker than Heitkotter right now. Everyone, a lot of 21.2s, 21.3s on the board right now, so it's going to be critical here. And it seems like these Pirelli P0s are really good on the long runs here. We saw it in qualifying, Greg. Drivers surprised by how late in the going they could set a fast lap time. And look at this, Cindric is closing in on the leader. His car is hooked up, he's doing a beautiful job, and he's just gaining confidence as this race progresses.
Yeah, we're into our final 5 at this stage. Going back to GTA and Mike Shine, and he is doing just that. He just a lap ago, Cal, went a 122.6 to give him a couple of tenths margin now to Martin Fuentes. And, Mike realizes, the best way for me to do something with Fuentes in that big lead, 250 plus points that Fuentes has, is just to win.
And I'll tell you what, there's a real strategy here. It'd be a tough call to make, but Shine has the lead in GTA. Pat Long is right behind him. Now, Pat Long's points are done overall in terms of where he runs in the order. So if they would let Pat Long by, it would help Pat Long out and not hurt Mike Shine. He'd still get the top GTA points.
That's an interesting little strategy call there that the team,
but a tough one, because Fuentes
yeah.
isn't that far back from Pat Long, so it's a tough one to make. There's about a 4-second buffer right now between Pat Long and Martin Fuentes, so there is a window if they want to do it right before the checkered flag to promote Pat Long up one position, but still give Michael Shine, his teammate, the GTA class win.
Well, I'm guessing Michael Shine would be happy to do that, but his thing is going to be, that's great, but Pat's got to catch me.
Yeah, well, that's going to be tough to do because Shine's got good pace here today.
Boy, he does. And in GT Cup, speaking of great pace, 2 very talented young drivers, Alec Udell leading it in the blue. Again, that's the Euro World Global Motorsports Group machine at a 124.76 was his best lap. Sloan Uri still a tick quicker at a 124.71 in the number 20. Again, Security National Mortgage and Avasis entry, and they're coming up on the back of Joseph Toussaint, who is in the GTA category.
Well, if you can time it, you can actually pick up a little bit of a draft from the guy in front of you. So if you lay down an equal lap around the rest of the racetrack and you just gain, half a tenth, which has really been the gap all day long between these two guys in terms of fast lap, maybe Sloan can use that to his advantage in terms of gaining that fast lap and claiming pole position for tomorrow.
Yeah, they are just on virtually identical terms right now, and that's great stuff. And as you said, I think Udell would, if he could catch him at the right spot, that'd be a big one for Udell. But now back to our overall lead and our points leader, Alvaro Parent. And every time Cindric closes in just a little bit, Alvaro's able to find a car length or two, Cal.
He seems to be able to respond, but he's certainly not driving away. This has been a fantastic performance by our championship leader, but also by Austin Cindric. I mean, the team did a test here. That is huge here, particularly with the limited track time. Has given them a bit of an edge. And let's not forget, it's not only pole position, it's extra championship points if he can do it here and maintain fast lap.
All right, well, they got around quick enough that the white flag didn't fly, so they've got this lap and one more, and that's the message to Cindric, what do you got?
Well, what'll Cindric do? Perrin was to catch a little bit of traffic here. Unfortunately, the field has been depleted a little bit with all of the carnage that we saw early on. Coming up on Corey Fergus here. Will they catch him through the S's? See the lights flashing from Alvaro Perrin. He wants Corey Fergus to be out of the way so he doesn't get balked any. Certainly he lost a lot of ground when he tried to get around Preston Calvert earlier in this race. He doesn't want a similar scenario here.
Well, there's an interesting dynamic too, isn't it? Obviously, Cindric would love to get a win at what he considers very much the most special track, but he's not that well placed in the points, and they are teammates.
They are teammates, and Austin's a very bright young man. He's pretty smart, and he's not going to take out his teammate as Perrin uses all of the curb there. And that was good. He split him. It's going to actually be advantage Perrin in the exchange.
Yep, and Fergus knew, I mean, Corey's a pretty savvy driver. He knew the situation, opened the wheel up, and really didn't even hold Cindric up that badly, did he?
No, he didn't.
That's a nice job.
He's still there. Don't see any other traffic. They're going to catch one, which should be the final lap.
There it is. White flag flies. 1 to go here at the Mid-Ohio Grand Prix, presented by Honda Racing. And it's a McLaren 1-2. And this bit of pace that they've just uncorked here late in the going. Hightower got down sub 120 as well at a 120.949. Look at the difference between Cindric and Hightower. 2 1,000ths right now.
Going to be the same front row tomorrow unless someone can lay down a fast lap on the final lap of the race, but they'll be in the opposite positions with Perrin on the pole. But if you've got anything right now, you're going to be digging deep.
Yep, and I think that Hightower may have just come up behind Fergus at the right time where he's able to get that engine spooled up and get a run and get cleanly by Fergus. So we'll see, you know, he's too far back unless he gets some sort of help from these two guys making a mistake. But in terms of that fast lap scenario, he has shown speed.
Cindric looks superb, really carrying great speed through turn 6. Car looks settled, and this will give him a lot of confidence. He said this season has just been one that hasn't come together. We've had pace at times, but hasn't quite clicked. Maybe he can go on a run here in the final 6 races of the championship.
It'd be great to see. What a great young man, great talent, but it is the factory McLaren driver, Alvaro Perrin, putting another win into the column with a tremendous run. And looking at the times,
that was his fastest lap. Let's see what Hightower can do. I think he's slightly slower, so exclamation point on the victory for Alvaro Perrin. Sets the fastest lap of the race on the final tour.
And that is his 5th win on the year as well. In GTA, Mike Shine has been just superb, and he is looking at adding another win into the win column, and he's had a few this year. This will be win number 5 for Michael as well, and he's loving the moment, saluting the crew at the wall.
Great job. Superb performance by Michael Shine.
And he had quick lap in his category, so he'll...
Look at this, Michael Cooper on the last lap.
Oh, wow.
120.8 for the Cadillac. That will vault him to the front row, I believe. To wait for confirmation, but he could start on the outside of the front row for tomorrow's race. That would be huge.
Here's a look up close and personal at one Mike Shine, the New Yorker, having a great day here in Mid-Ohio. And here is the final run through the carousel. The number 17, Alec Udell, able to get enough of a margin here. Is it going to happen? It is. Win number 8 on the season for Alec Udell. But for Sloan Uri, his 11th podium, as well, his 11th top 2. Boy, these two guys so closely matched. And Cal, having a look at it here, Uri, though, will be on the pole for tomorrow's race. So Perrin with the win in GT, GTA Mike Shine, GT Cup Alec Udell. We'll hear from him when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Maybe the best news of all, the rain held off here at Mid-Ohio, and after a troubled start, had some great racing at the end, and in the end, it was your points leader, Alvaro Perrin, getting the win, and he's with Jeff Lepper.
We tested here. The team did a great job setup-wise. Congratulations to everyone. Steve, my engineer, we tried a few things, and at the end, for this race one, we nailed it setup-wise and very comfortable to drive. It was a shame the cautions and that Colin had a moment there and didn't finish, so that's a shame. But very happy, you know, very good points, a win. Austin was on me all the time, you know, so keeping me on the spot, and and very light, lively, so that was good. Congratulations to McLaren GT, the team, and everyone.
Well, congratulations, Alvaro. Now let's take a look, Cal, at our Cadillac ATSV Move of the Race Award, and it was that pass for the lead.
It was our championship leader, Pirelli, made the move deep into our stop tech brake zone. It was tight there. He's up and over the curb, but he made it stick.
Absolutely fabulous run. In our GT Cup category, it was Alec Udell getting his 8th win of the season. He had an opportunity to chat with Jeff.
Well, Alec Udell starting to dominate this season, 8 wins.
Yeah, obviously it was a great race for us today. Sloan was putting the pressure on there, and the whole race, I'd run a little quicker, he'd run a little quicker. I think he got pulled for tomorrow, so it'll be interesting. See if we can get back up in front tomorrow. But great race. Thanks to the guys at GMG, Your World Motorsports, Amsource Capital, and Panther Pipeline. We had a great car, and I think that's 3 or 4 wins in a row now. So, we're on a streak. I want to continue that tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm really happy to be back on the top step here at Mid-Ohio. This was my first win in the Pirelli World Challenge Series last year, so it's a memorable place. My first pole here as well when I was 15, so I always love coming back here. The fans here are great.
All right, thanks very much. Now let's turn to our Kia turning point, and I think when you're looking at points implications, Cal, it had to be Long's drive-through.
It was. He had that contact with Colin Thompson. The steward deems that he was at fault, served the drive-through, dropped him to the 10th position.
Costly in terms of points. Now let's take a look at our Motor Trend On Demand Clean Pass of the Race Award, and it was a beauty. Height caught around the outside of Fogarty.
Well, he tried it before and couldn't make it stick. The second go around, he did. A superb move. Good, clean racing there.
And our VP Racing Fuels Hard Charger Award, the number 17, Alec Udell, up 8 spots overall during the course of the race. Now into our Motul Fast Lap Awards, and the reason that's important determines where you start in the race coming up tomorrow. And in GT, Alvaro Parent will be back on pole. In GTA, Mike Shine throwing in a great lap late in the going. And in GT Cup, Sloan Uri just pipping Udell for another pole for himself. So that's how the Motul Fast Lap Awards go. And that wraps up all the action here in the 14th round of the championship here at Mid-Ohio. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our call of round 15. So stay with us.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Eibach, the world leader in high-performance suspension, by Bentley Motors, and by AFE Power, advanced engineering, proven performance. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by VP Racing Fuels. Our passion is your performance. And by Kia Optima, not your average midsize sedan.
Welcome once again, everybody, to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. It is time for the Pirelli World Challenge GT and GTA 15th round of the championship. For GT Cup, it's the 14th round. It is the Mid-Ohio Grand Prix presented by Honda Racing. I'm Greg Creamer, joined by Calvin Fish and Jeff Lepper in the pits once again. Thanks for staying with us. And I'll tell you, we're looking for a good one here. As the field is out on their pace laps, we're going to get right to our Motul GT Pole Awards. And in GT, it goes to Alvaro Parent, his 5th pole of the season, and a wicked quick one, over 100-mile-an-hour average lap during the race. And that meant a bit earlier, Jeff Lepper had a chance to catch up with it.
Yeah, definitely a great day yesterday. A 1-2 for the team. Fantastic, the dream race. And today, starting from pole, I'm looking for a good start, a good clean first lap. It's going to be tight on that first right-hander right after the green flag, but we're going to try and keep it, clean with no issues. And then hopefully the small fine-tuning we did to the car is going to make me even more comfortable and have a good race.
And of course, 2 other classes running in the GTA category. The Motul Pole Award, his 3rd of the year, goes to Mike Shine, and that was an outright new GTA track record. Not a race lap record, a track record at a 1:21.790. And in GT Cup, the Motul Pole Award, his 7th of the year, to Sloan Uri, doing a great job in that Security National Mortgage Evasis True Speed Porsche at a 1:24.717 second lap. Now, since this is a rolling start, we are going to be again coming through what will be the VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. And on the restarts, should there be one, it will be right here in this section of the track. But real quick, we had a lot of cars involved in contact yesterday. Jeff, what are you hearing from those teams? Who's going to be able to start?
Thanks, Greg. Well, the Acura real-time TLX GT of Spencer Pompelli had some contact with James Davidson's Nissan GTR. That caused a lower wishbone to break, put him out of the race, but the real-time team got him back underway. A mix-up between Pat Long and Colin Thompson collected Kyle Marcelli. The DeVilbiss Audi R8 team worked here till 6 a.m. getting that Audi repaired. They're back underway. Unfortunately, Colin Thompson and his K-Pax McLaren 650S, damage was too intensive. He will not make the field here today.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And as you can see, the field's starting to form up. Boy, I'll tell you, Colin Thompson might be defining the phrase sophomore jinx this year. It's unbelievable.
Just cannot catch a break, but his teammates had a great run yesterday. A 1-2 finish. They lined up on the pole. And in third position, Austin Cindric in that bright blue McLaren. You can see him there behind his factory teammate Alvaro Parent coming down to the line here.
And Parent, remember, we're talking to Jeff, talked about how crucial it was to get clean through that first turn they're going to face. Turn 4. Starting to pick the pace up just a little bit, and green flag flies. We are racing at Mid-Ohio. Contact, little bump. Saw some body work flying. It's Austin Cindric.
O'Connell, look at Cooper. Look at Cooper. He's going to try and stick it to the outside.
He may have done it.
He does. He's got the track position. Brent's going to fight him hard, but we're on cold tires, remember. Then it's going to be the run down the hill to turn 6.
And Cooper through Parent.
Look at Eversley.
Oh, a huge move by Eversley and O'Connell. Inside a height cutter.
Wow, what a move by Ryan Eversley.
Boy, and you know who else took advantage of all of that was John Fogerty. He made a nice move, and you can see the damage on Cindric's car, left front. Looks like the splitter and the wheel well has come apart, but look at this. Eversley second, suddenly Parent from pole to third.
Tell you what, Eversley is a racer. He is a man on a charge right now. There's a huge throng of Honda supporters here this weekend. About 10,000 people from the factories here in Ohio in attendance, and he's putting on a show right now.
Boy, he sure is. O'Connell there in fourth, the red Cadillac height cutter fifth. Then you take a look and see Fogerty, and height cutter showing the nose to Johnny O.
The wobble there by Fogerty, you could see there. That car's not settled down right now. They made a bit of a change overnight. He had too much understeer yesterday. Maybe they've gone too much in the other direction, but as early in the going right now. Look at Cindric's car, big damage to the left front.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that's really going to affect his downforce in that corner on that side of the car, which means in any right-hander, he's really going to struggle.
Well, you got to be careful.
He got to run, though, didn't he?
He did, but you got to be careful if that suddenly comes underneath that left front tire when he's trying to turn through a corner. I think the stewards will look at this. If it doesn't dispatch itself pretty soon, they may bring him in. Oh, that's tight there. Cindric pushes it down to the inside. That bodywork's going to be right into Fogerty, and it clears it. I think it tore the bodywork off of Cindric. And he's now got probably a healthy race car minus the downforce.
But it did take Fogerty off track, so he's lost some ground. And Highcutter attacking on O'Connell, not quite able to make it work. Finally slotted in behind him and is holding station now. But that was a great side-by-side battle for a number of corners. Love to see it. Now we're going to go back and take a look, as we always do, at the GT Cup start, which happened separately. And here is the start. And Yuri with that pole, Cal, it was huge for him to get a run down into the first turn, and he was able to do that. But Fergus Hungry took a look.
He did take a look from that third position, but it's settled down right now. Udell to the front.
Yeah.
Got around the pole sitter, Sloan Yuri.
Yuri made it work down into that first turn, but Udell found a way by. Udell has just been on a tear as of late.
He's got the confidence going. Look at this. Eversley hounding the Cadillac. Who would have thought about this with the dominance of the McLarens earlier in the weekend? Parent seems to be struggling here a little bit. Look at these two leaders just taking off in the early going.
I'll tell you, one thing we know about the Acura, it doesn't have the downforce in the corners, but it has great straight line speed, as you can see here.
Right there. They lost some boost, but boy, oh boy, he's coming after that Cadillac.
He used it to great advantage on the start. As a matter of fact, we're watching him. We're glad we are. He is our Optima Batteries best start winner, up 6 spots from where he qualified, and that was pretty much into the first corner. Brilliant start by Ryan. We've seen that so often from him this year.
He is really dynamite on these opening laps and really just takes off. And with that opening sequence of corners, you can start to make some moves here at Mid-Ohio. And the drivers recognize once it settles down, it's tough to make a move. But remember that Acura got a balance of performance adjustment. 30 kilograms more weight on that car. That will affect his tire wear over the course of this race. He probably needs to try and get around Cooper early and then try and manage the pace a little bit of his race car.
Well, we'll see if he is able to do that. By the way, that contact between Cindric and Fogerty in the Red Dragon is under review by the officials. We'll let you know what they say when we come back to what's shaping up to be a great race at Mid-Ohio. Folks, welcome back to Mid-Ohio, and we have another man who is on the move. He didn't get as much as Ryan Eversley did in the opening lap, but in the lap since, Cal, J.D. Davison has been flying up to 7th.
Yeah, and he did that by lap 2, and he's now going to get another position here. The reason being is Austin Cindric, after that contact with the 99 Red Dragon, has to give the position back. The problem was Fogarty dropped all the way back to 9th, and now you can see they have got those positions done. Here comes Pompelli trying to make a move on Pat Long.
And Pat Long, one of the guys who just did not have any pace in yesterday's race. They threw a huge change at the car. He said last night, he said, we're hoping it works. They just haven't been able to find any grip.
Yeah, just a flat slide. He said they even had wheel spin with the traction control fully ramped up. So they were making a change to the differential last night to try and get that back end settled down. And the irony is, Greg, that the Porsche has dominated here, sweeping both weekends with Ryan Dalziel the last couple of years. This is a true GT3 machine, so it's a little bit different platform to them. But he said, you know, last year the Porsche struggled at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. I swept. Last year the Porsches were dominant here. This weekend I'm struggling. That's the irony of racing sometimes.
Yep, well, there's this chassis, this new GT3R, just a little different than the other one. They said, you know, some of the data, some of the stuff we have just really doesn't apply. However, it seems to be working quite well in the GTA category for this guy. His teammate, Mike Shine, is absolutely hooked up in that Wright Motorsports Porsche once again, leading, although the car that's right behind him, it seems to be on pace here. Your points leader, Martin Fuentes, in the Hublot Under Armour Ferrari from Scuderia Corsa.
And you can see the pace of this GTA class this year. When they're on form, they're ahead of some of the strongest runners in the full GT category, like Kyle Marcelli, who sits behind those guys. So these guys are very close to the true pace of the GT field.
Well, we saw, where was it, at Mosport, when Mike Shine got a lap within a second of Pat Long on that track. Clearly, he is somebody that's got a great opportunity here, but the problem is for him is the points margin that Martin has already built up.
It's a long night for Nick Short and the guys at CRP trying to repair that damage. Marcelli involved in that spin that Colin Thompson was tipped into yesterday. Tore this Audi up pretty good. You can see they got the car on the grid just trying to score points today.
And as we're watching him, and Kyle has been very effective at Lime Rock Park, a tremendous race he put together there, I think up on the podium. So certainly capable, but you get at a track, it's just not quite clicking here, and then you have contact like that, as you said. Long day for the crew for that Nick Short run CRP racing program. Up front, it's Michael Cooper. He's stretched that margin out a little bit now over Eversley to over a second, Cal.
He did, and last 3 or 4 laps, he was about 4 to 5 tenths quicker than Eversley, but Eversley just responded with a 120.5. So just like yesterday, we're suddenly seeing these tires come alive as we get more rubber down. IndyCar's right for the morning warm-up, and I think they just don't, you know, coexist that well with the IndyCar rubber. But as soon as this race gets underway, the times just come alive.
And there's a look at Alec Udell leading in GT Cup, and he was able to get through and make that move on Uri. Boy, but once he got through, Cal, look at the margin he's been able to open up.
Well, I think they must have tweaked on that race car because he didn't have that advantage yesterday. You can see Sloan Uri there, a couple of seconds back. Corey Fergus hanging with these guys, so they're continuing to work on that 00 machine. Home race for Corey Fergus, lives down in Columbus. Got 1 million miles around this racetrack. Not as many as his father, however, who's won numerous national championships here over the years.
Yeah, John Fergus. This is a big step for Corey. I mean, you know, his experience, like his dad's, was in, you know, Sports 2000, small prototypes and the like. Then he went and ran some small bore, like touring car stuff, was very good. Won the TC championship. This is a new level, and for the team, this car is a new thing to wrap your head around, isn't it?
And they're used to running cars that you can actually tune on. You know, you can change things on. They said, we know how to fix it, we're just not allowed because this is a spec car. And I think that's causing the frustration for them.
And of course, that big buyers on the side of the car, a local Ohio Porsche dealership where Corey works. He races Porsches on the weekend and then sells them during the week. So wanted to give them a big shout out. Up front, Cooper leads it, but that margin is coming down. It had gone to 1.2 seconds, but as you can see, Eversley, and I think you're absolutely right, Cal, with more and more of this compatible Pirelli rubber getting down on the track. The car's starting to find some pace. By the way, we just got word that Alec, his pass on Sloan happened into turn 4. Sloan got in a little hot, locked up, floated wide, and they went side by side through a couple of corners. Light little touch, but everything's good on both cars. And so that's how that happened. And for Michael Cooper, doing a superb job here, continuing to lead here at Mid-Ohio. We'll be right back.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Ferrari. By the Bob Bondurant School of High Performance Driving, official driving school of the Pirelli World Challenge Championships. And by Mercedes-Benz AMG.
Welcome back to Mid-Ohio, and Ryan Eversley has closed the margin up as our leader has gone into some traffic, Cal. He's got a huge run coming out of the keyhole, heading down to the S's.
Here he comes deep into our stop-tech brake zone. Doesn't make the move there. I think he's looking up ahead at further traffic to maybe take advantage of. Certainly has erased that gap that Michael Cooper had built. Look at Eversley looking for any way around down through the S's.
Well, this is where that Acura, with the straight line speed, the power that it has, if Cooper gets bogged down anywhere, this is his opportunity, and Ryan's smart enough, he knows it.
Cooper really seems to get the power down well.
Boy.
We talk about the electronics on that Cadillac. They are superb. Through those tight corners, it just seems he can squeeze on the power a little bit sooner than Ryan Eversley.
Up into the carousel where last lap, Cooper got balked just a little bit by Sloan Urie. But this time he's not quite close enough to the back of Udell where that's going to hurt him too much, and he's just got to be able to get through clean. But I talk about it, high-speed chess, well, the game is afoot.
It really is. This is fascinating to watch. Ryan Eversley is just there preying on the guy right in front of him.
And look at Alec Udell, smart driver, knows what's happening, moved over, let both of them through easily. Didn't want to affect this great battle. Thank you, Alec, we appreciate that.
Fastest lap times of the day shows that Eversley is about a 10th quicker than Michael Cooper. However, Alvaro Prent, our championship leader, sitting there in the third spot in that McLaren, has run a low 20, a 20.2. So he's got 3 or 4 tenths as the race has settled in a little bit. But he just lost so much ground in those opening laps, Greg.
Yeah, and Highcotter and Davis and Cal both running 120.4s. So they're quicker than the two guys up front as well. But like you said, just buried in the pack. And it's just, when things are so close, it's tough to make up any track position here. For Mike Shine now, he's been able to stretch that margin to about 3 seconds over Martin Fuentes. But Fuentes understands the big picture. Yes, he'd like the pace, but he's got second place points and a huge margin, over 200 coming in. And the way the point swings are here, seconds through the rest of the year would be good.
Just fine. Continue to just keep racking up those points. He did all of the damage to his competitors early in the year when he went on that streak. And right now, podiums will be just fine for Martin Fuentes as he tries to capture his first Pirelli World Challenge Championship.
And there he is in that black and white Hublot Under Armour Ferrari. Folks, obviously, you're big race fans. If you're watching with us, you love this series. And if you want to know what's going on in between the events, just go to social media. If the obvious place to start with is the website, world-challenge.com. You can also get great video content there, including links to the live broadcast of the races. At Facebook, just search the Pirelli World Challenge Championship fan page. On Twitter, just look for the handle @WC Racing. And of course, for all things racing, especially historical, you just want to take a moment and check out Motor Trend On Demand. Archives of all the Pirelli World Challenge races, but also of some of the great races through the years. It is an absolute treasure trove. And you can start your free trial at motortrendondemand.com today. I would encourage you to do that. And we go back to this great battle once again. That is Spencer Pumpelly, teammate to second place runner Ryan Eversley. And he is having a great scrap. Hasn't figured out a way to get by Pat Long yet, but he's hunting.
It's been a long weekend for Pat Long. Just really struggled out of the transporter. Michael Shine did a test day here, which certainly helped him out a little bit, and you would have thought that would have given some direction to John Wright and the boys on this Porsche, but they just haven't found the sweet spot. We talked about it in the open, Greg.
Right.
This racetrack is so critical. You get the handling right. If you find the sweet spot, you can have a big weekend. However, if you're struggling, it's going to be a long weekend.
Absolutely. You talk about that track record in GTA that Michael set at a 1:21.7. Well, the pole time by Parent was a 1:20.7. So yes, it was very fast, but it's still a second off, and that applies to Pat Long as well, obviously.
Pat Long said, I was following some of those McLarens yesterday and kind of envious their grip through these high-speed corners. Yes, they struggle because it creates a lot of drag with the downforce, but he said the cars just look so settled through turn one. It was pretty impressive, he said.
And here we go, looking back again. There is Alec Udell continuing to lead, but we were wondering what's been going on. Suddenly, Austin Cindric just slowed. Well, Jeff, I believe you've got some information from the pits. As a matter of fact, Cindric has come to a stop, Jeff.
Well, Darren Law, we've seen Austin Cindric starting dropping back. Is there a problem with the car?
Yeah, we've got a mechanical issue with the boost, so we've got it on telemetry, trying to resolve what the issue is, but right now we haven't got it fixed. So, we got to hang in there and try and get some points out of this.
Well, heartbreaking for the team that finished 1-2 here yesterday.
All right, well, thanks very much. But as we can see here, Cindric able to get going again, but running very, very slowly. And if he can keep it going, no question, I'm sure he will be making a move to pit lane. So as Austin continues to try and just salvage something here today, we're going to step away from Mid-Ohio for just a moment, but do come right back. We've got some great racing yet to unfold. Welcome back to Mid-Ohio, and you're noticing traffic once again for Michael Cooper and Ryan Eversley, but more importantly, third car in the queue, that yellow and deep blue McLaren of points leader Alvaro Parent, and he is all over the back of Ryan Eversley.
He has been on a charge. He has really narrowed that gap to the leaders. The McLaren is working well. Seemed to take a long time to find its sweet spot here today. Cooper has not been having a super clean run through traffic. Eversley now goes to the high side. He's got to be careful here because Parent is looking for these sort of opportunities. Fortunately, Joe Toussaint sees him, gives him that outside lane, and now the straight line speed of the Acura should help him stretch the gap back to Parent.
You just saw Cooper there for a minute kind of feint over toward Toussaint. I think he was just saying, I'm here. But look at this, going back a little bit. We've been talking about the attack Pompelli's been putting along. He finally got it done and down into our stop tech brake zone, but it wasn't easy.
Oh no, he was deep on the brakes, and Patlon's going to hold tight there around the outside, thinks better of it. You can see Pompelli, he's got all the weight moving forward. He was dancing the rear end there. Threshold braking, ABS kicking in, just gets the move done.
Boy, that's literally dancing on the brakes is what he was doing coming in there. That was
traffic.
That's
Traffic
madness.
for
Oh
Cooper.
boy,
This
here
is
we go.
big. Eversley, if he can time the, oh, nice move by Cooper. The door just opens up.
Now Calvert lets him through. Oh, and Parent's going to sweep around. Oh, he didn't. I don't think Preston realized there was a third car in that line.
That was big. That was our championship leader going for a ride there. A lot of grass in the radiator grill right now. Parent will not be happy about that. Tries to shake it loose. Look at that. It is packed.
Oh, boy. And there is still time to run here.
Yeah, this is a problem. This is a big problem for Alvaro Parent. Long time to go. We've got 13 minutes left in this race. Will that McLaren overheat? Will he need to get to pit lane and clear out that grill?
And the problem is he still hasn't gone around Calvert, because now Calvert running GTA, that's a car that has pretty equal straight line speed. Now Parent's able to get down and underneath, but look at that, Cal, just absolutely packed.
Well, it's weird with the front straightaway here at Mid-Ohio. That white line actually comes across to the left as you're going down there. So if you think you're staying straight, it's actually narrowing a bit on the right-hand side. So that may have caught Preston out a little bit in terms of creating a gap for Alvaro, or either that or he just didn't see him at all.
I think it's probably he let the two cars go through, didn't realize there was a third. But the other part of the equation here is now Johnny O'Connell, who last time by was almost 4 seconds back, is significantly closer because of that moment for Parent. So that bit of racing for the third, fourth, fifth, sixth spot is starting to heat up as Cooper puts another lap in the books.
Parent lost 2 seconds in Sector 1 alone last time across the stripe, which is basically from the start-finish line over to the back straightaway. That is what that move cost him in the grass.
And there's Parent. Ooh, and he's wide again. He is pushing so hard. But look how close O'Connell is. And you've got Heitkotter and Davison, who've been showing some great pace as well, that are moving up, although they get trapped right now behind Calvert.
Well, this is a big, big point in this race. O'Connell pushing for everything he's got. He wants part of that podium. If Parent slows even a little bit, there's 3 cars right now. Johnny O and the 2 Nissans really close to him. Parent struggling here in the straightaway. O'Connell flicks to the outside. I think Parent's got issues. He seems to be slowing.
Yep, well, you have to think it's overheating related. And here comes Heitkotter, Davison. Those are the 2 team cars, the Nissan Heitkotter, the GT Academy, Nismo Nissan, and JD Davison in the Air Now, Nismo Nissan, and they are there. Yeah, Parent way off the pace, Cal.
Yeah, he's got to be. Oh, the engine's gone, I think, Greg. I think those sparks may be coming from the exhaust, possibly.
Boys, if it is, he's got a, that's a tough spot here. Looking to see. I don't see anything on the.
No, we definitely saw some sparks there. So whether it's just coincidental that he's got those radiators packed with grass and overheating potentially, and then some other issue. Wow, what a game changer. As Pat Long goes by, he probably can't believe what he's looking at.
Well, big problems for our point leader, Alvaro Parent. He has made his way down into the pits. Jeff, what are you hearing?
Well, Alvaro Parent pulls the number 9 K-Pax McLaren 650S. The front grille full of grass where he had that off coming onto the front stretch here. Car was overheating. Unfortunately, it looks like he is done as he's getting ready to crawl out. No, they put the seat belts back on, tell him to go as they try to get as many points as they can. Your race winner here yesterday.
Wow, huge implications in the points. Thanks very much, Jeff. Unbelievable developments for the K-Pax team. Michael Cooper continues to lead over Eversley, but now O'Connell third, Heitkotter and Davison completing your top 5. Shine still leads in GTA, Udell in GT Cup, and we will be right back.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Lincoln Tech, America's Technical Institute. By TireRack.com, revolutionizing tire buying since 1979. And by Motor Trend On Demand. Visit MotorTrendOnDemand.com. Start your free trial today.
Welcome back, everybody. A little bit deeper in the field. Some tremendous racing still going on. Looking there at the 99 of Fogarty, under attack by Pumpelly. Here comes Pat Long, under attack by the Bentley of Adderley Fong. So the battles for 7th and 9th are as fierce as anything anywhere else on the track.
They really are, and Pat Long just has to keep digging. He can't afford to drop any more positions. He needs to gain on Alvaro Parent in the championship here today. Look at this. Pumpelly's the fastest man on the racetrack right now, trying to make a move on the Red Dragon, the Gainesco entry of John Fogarty.
Again, those McLarens, such great downforce. And once they get to the braking zone, they're able to go just that bit deeper. And just tells you there that Pumpelly, like Eversley, has found on Cooper, you got to get farther along to make that work. But you're talking about the pace that Pumpelly's putting on. One, you said the fast lap won't get him much in terms of, since it's the second race. However, it's impressive for a guy who's had very little time in this car to come in and be running this fast. It's not going to hurt his CV at all.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great opportunity for Spencer with the HPD Acura brand. So to come in here and show that sort of speed, he wouldn't have been happy about yesterday being effectively taken out of the action. Here we see the leaders coming through traffic once again. Advantage Cooper. He's opened it up nicely over Ryan Eversley. Probably about 2 seconds right now with that little gap in traffic again.
Yes. Mike McCann splitting the 2 leaders.
Someone's
right
off
now.
big time.
Somebody off. That's the Bentley.
Was he trying to make a move on Pat Long? It's the Fong Long show again, guys.
It always keeps it interesting. Let's go back, take a look, see what happened.
There's turn 1, the exit of turn 1. He's using that cut through. He's not inside a line. He just gets in there really deep, loses the back end, just turns in with a lot of speed, corrects it. And that was a narrow escape there. If he missed everything, did he just? Oh, super close. Watch this, how tight he is to that tire bundle. Whew.
Oh, he did a nice job.
That was a big escape there. It's really high speed through turn 1. He was just pushing really hard, just lost the tail end. Now he's trying to clean off those tires a little bit.
And remount the attack. I mean, he was so close to the back of Long, and obviously that's going to cost him a ton of time and track.
Yeah,
he's still struggling, isn't he?
Not sure that's just dirty tires. He may have an issue as we get back to our leader, Michael Cooper.
And as we're coming up on the last 3 minutes thereabouts, he has himself more of a margin than he's had in a while, so that's going to play well for Cooper.
Parent there sits behind these 2 guys. It's kind of a cut and paste of the view we had about 10 minutes ago, but obviously he's now 1 lap down. Parent still running in the 15th position, our championship leader. The guy who's closest to him in the points, Pat Long, sits in 9th. So that'll be a nice delta for Pat Long at the end of the day.
And as you said, when this race started, I think Pat Long, knowing that on the radio Parent had been closing on the lead and everything, suddenly to see him pit, it was going to be a huge and welcome surprise at a track where Pat and that team just struggling a little bit this weekend. Not so for Alec Udell, who has continued to build that margin, and Michael Cooper coming up behind him, so a couple of class leaders in the frame right there. That blue Euro World AmSource Financial and Panther Pipeline Global Motorsports Group Porsche of Udell, and then the Cadillac Racing black number 8 of overall leader Michael Cooper at ATS VR.
Michael said he loves this racetrack. He's had so much success here over the years. And he was a little disappointed with their qualifying run here. Yesterday, Joe Tussano's had a quick spin. Is that turn 9?
Looks like it. He's got to be a little careful here, obviously.
This is kind of a blind brow of a hill there. He's got to be super careful not to pull out because no one's going to see him there, right there.
Nice job. And you know, where his eyes were looking, he was looking right at the corner station where they'll find a gap for him. So played that well. And Cal, we're expecting white flag for Michael Cooper next time by.
Oh, what a result this would be for this young man. Really vaults him right back into the championship hunt. We talk about Pat Long getting the advantage over Brent in the points, but the big player is going to be Michael Cooper here. He came into this race 156 points behind Alvaro Brent. He's going to get the maximum score. He's going to make up about 60, 70 points on the championship leader.
This is a huge story in the making, and you talked about the success he's had here. He told me, he said, since I started pro racing, every event I've come here, I've won. Not every race, because they're double headers, but every event I've walked away with at least one win. I love this place, and in a lap, if he hangs on, he's going to love it even more. 1 to go. Ryan Eversley into second, that third car in your frame. Down lap, Alec Udell leading in GT Cup, and Cooper's opened that margin up now to almost 2.5 seconds.
Textbook run here for Michael Cooper, but hats off to Ryan Eversley. Remember the BOP adjustment on the Acura? They didn't think they'd have the speed here. Well, he's just a hard racer, and he maximized. Pompelli has been excellent as well with the fastest lap of the race so far. He sits in the 8th position from a poor grid position after the incident yesterday.
And looking here is your leader still in GTA, Shine Fuentes, not letting him get too far down the road, but at the other side of that is Fuentes has not been able to significantly close it up on Shine, but I think Martin is also big picture looking right now.
He is. He's been pushing hard. He wants to win. I mean, he's a feisty guy. He wants to win. He's got a lot of passion about his racing, but Michael Shine is certainly a strong force in this championship right now and looking for another victory.
And he's got it in the right position, and I think right now he understands he's on his last lap. But here we go, last time through the carousel, Michael Cooper feeding his way onto the front straight, and Michael Cooper is going to bring home another win at Mid-Ohio. That's impressive, and his second win of the season. And as you said, Cal, a huge gain in the points and a superb race for Ryan Eversley. There is Alec Udell bringing home another win. What a remarkable story that has been this season. His 9th win of the year for Alec. Impressive stuff. And for Cooper, again, boy, what a race, what an opportunity.
Oh, big jump in the points. This is a big weekend for Michael Cooper. What devastation for the K-Pax Flying Lizard group with Alvaro Brent's issue. Unofficially right now we have him in the 14th position.
Yeah, all 3 of their cars having issues today. And for Mike Shine, here he comes and will pick up the checkered flag for himself. And this should be his 6th win of the year by my reckoning. Onto the front straight he comes. Impressive day, an impressive weekend for the New Yorker. So Cooper, Eversley, and O'Connell complete the podium in GT and GTA. Shine Fuentes and Mike McCann. Great run in the Yeti Viper. And in GT Cup, Udell, Yuri, and Corey Fergus. We'll be right back to Mid-Ohio. Welcome back to Mid-Ohio, where the Pirelli World Challenge GT classes have put on a remarkable battle. Great racing, but also huge points implications. But at the very front of it, Michael Cooper getting his 2nd win of the year at a track he just seems to excel at. Jeff?
Incredibly sweet. I can't thank the guys at Cadillac Racing enough. Coming into this weekend, we were definitely optimistic, and we had a good Thursday, and I felt pretty good about the weekend. And I knew what I had to do yesterday. Once the race started evolving like that, the track getting faster every lap, I knew that I needed some clean air in that last lap to be up front today, and that's what made today's performance possible.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff, and that leads us into a look at our GT Drivers' Championship points. How's it looking, Cal?
Well, Brent continues to lead, Long in second, but the big mover today with that victory is Michael Cooper is tightening up at the top.
And how about a look at our GTA Drivers' Championship points?
Well, Fuentes with another podium run, his healthy lead there, but Michael Shine, he's not going away, keeps chipping away at that lead. Frankie Montecalvo still sits in the 3rd position.
Keeping Fuentes honest, that's an important thing to do. And speaking of Michael Shine, though, what another great weekend he put together. Jeff, his 6th win.
Yeah, I'm happy to carry the flag for Porsche. It was quite a different race than yesterday. Flag to flag, green racing. pace was really like nonstop. It was qualifying for 50 minutes. It really took a lot out of me. Thrilled to get the win. It's a lot more satisfying when you got to work for it, and happy to have a clean, perfect weekend.
Well, congrats to Mike Shine. Now let's look at our Cadillac ATSV move of the race, and it is a Cadillac, Cal. Big move at the start.
Yes, Michael Cooper took advantage of that outside move you can make down into turn 4, made it stick around the outside, and at that point he was never headed once again.
You know what? That leads us into our GT Manufacturer Championship points, Cal. It's so important.
It is important, and it's really close. I tell you what, between Porsche and McLaren. McLaren looked like they were going to leapfrog to the front, but it's tight, just a couple of points between them. Cadillac, big points here today, sit in third.
Yeah, huge developments there. Now let's take a look at GT Cup. Again, another big win for Alec Udell. Continues to stretch the margin. Jeff, another great day for the young man.
Obviously had a great race today. Weren't as quick as we wanted to be yesterday, and we found that pace today. So really big thanks to John, Nev, Roger, and Steve. Put a great car together for me today. Excuse me, I'm a little tired. It was a hot day out here today at Mid-Ohio, but these Pirelli P0s held up, and I think we got another track record in the race. So just speaks to the consistency of these tires, and got to give it to the guys once again at GMG, Euro World Motorsports, Am Sports Capital, Panther Pipeline, and Advantage Engineering. We had a great car this weekend, and we're just keeping our eyes on the prize at the end of the season. So good race today.
All right, thanks very much. And Cal, with that, we know he's stretching it. What's the margin now?
Well, it's up around 60 points or so, Greg, and Yuri continues to run in third, and Fergus consolidates that third position today.
Yeah, 9th win on the season. Pretty remarkable stuff. Now, let's take a look at our key at turning point. There's no question, Cal, it's all about Parent, the issues, the points.
Wow, what a moment there where he got forced onto the grass a little bit, filled up those radiator grills, had to come to pit lane, and that just cost him dearly. A podium run for sure, maybe even a victory today, went away.
Ended up 14th overall after that huge point swing. Our MotorTrendOnDemand.com Clean Pass of the Race Award, also one that happened at the start. Happened to be, I think, 6 clean passes.
What a first lap by Ryan Eversley. That guy is a racer, and that was just great action there on the opening lap.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. And our final specialty award, VP Racing Fuels Hard Charger Award, and it goes to the number 33 Air Now AE and Nismo Nissan of J.D. Davison, up 11 spots overall during the course of the race with some absolutely quick laps. Speaking of fast laps, Motul fast lap in GT, number 34, Spencer Pompelli. Great, he's going to be back with us at Utah in GTA. Martin Fuentes, even though he didn't get the win, pace is there once again. And in GT Cup, not a big surprise, the number 17 of Alec Udell once he got out in front. So, Cal, that wraps things up here at an absolutely wonderful, technical, quick change of direction track in the beautiful Ohio farming community. In 2 weeks, we are at Great Salt Desert at elevation. Whole different game.
Well, they will stretch their legs there for sure, Greg. It's a totally different racetrack, different dynamic needed. Those actors were tough here. They could be even stronger out there.
Well, I'll tell you, looking forward to that one. Hope you all join us as well. But that wraps things up here at Mid-Ohio for Calvin and Jeff and our entire CBS Sports Network crew. I'm Greg Creamer. In association with WC Vision, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, your 24-hour home of CBS Sports.